Hello, hello. Hello, good afternoon. This is Srividya Veeraraghavan from Storytrain, an engine bubbling colorful bubbles of stories. So today, being the World Storytelling Day, I'm very happy to be sharing with you a beautiful story written by Enid Blyton. Of course, I've done a bit of modification here and there. So you're all ready. So we're going to see how many of you have joined and at all it is working. Is it? Okay. So let me see, okay. So I want to know how many of you are actually looking at this and at all you're able to see it. So is it going public? Yep. Okay. So, okay. So, yes. So I am live. Mm-hmm. Fine. Yes, finally there is someone in there. Okay, good afternoon. This is Srividya Veeraraghavan. I'm from Storytrain, bubbling colorful stories from my engine of stories. Today, being the World Storytelling Day, I'm very happy to be sharing with you a story from Enid Blyton. Of course, there has been a bit of modification here and there from my side, but it's a very beautiful story, and I'm sure you all going to enjoy listening to it. Yep. So here we go. So this is a story of a boy who has the same kind of eyes and ears like you and me. Was around 10 years of age, had curly brown hair and blue eyes. He was bubbly, he was naughty, but there was something very specific that his parents never liked about. He had one bad habit. That is, whenever he used to step out of the house, if he sees anybody talking, murmuring, whispering, he would immediately take his ears near and try to listen what they are talking about. Even inside the house, when his father and mother used to talk to their aunts and uncles and all these adults used to discuss about various things, he would just keep his ears on the wall and just try to listen to what the adults are talking to. Now this was a very bad habit, right? So once his mother told him, no, you're not supposed to listen to others like this. But he had no ears to the advice. He continued peeping into others' houses and just trying to listen to what they're talking. He loved this gossiping. He loved knowing about what others are talking about, what others are doing. So much so that even the neighbors, the school teachers, and even the vendors were not quite happy with this boy. They had complained to his mother many times, sometimes directly scolded him, but nothing affected him. He kept enjoying the listening to others secretively. So this continued. One day, one day it was summer, hot, the roads have no one at the road, afternoon time, and suddenly he heard the footsteps of the most, the eldest lady in the whole village. Because that lady used to wear a very peculiar shoe and used to hold a stick in her hand. So when she used to walk, she will talk like talk, 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 and everybody could immediately identify who is walking. So this boy was kind of finding it boring. And then he slowly took his window and then he peeped out. He saw. the old lady walking. Tock, 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 tock. And this boy decided to follow her because he knew that this lady is very interesting and she does a lot of interesting stuff. Sometimes she does magic as well. So he started to follow her secretively, without telling, without informing his parents. He moved out of the house, and when he started walking behind her, the lady did not know. And the lady, as she walked, say around 20, 25 houses away, there came a big well. And just beyond the well, there was a green, kind of a green park. As she got into the park, the green grass around and the tall trees and the flowers breathed and welcomed her. As she walked, tock, 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 the boy also slowly trying to follow her, hiding behind this tree, hiding behind that bush, and slowly trying to follow. And suddenly, when this old lady went to the rear end of the garden, there was a small hut. She went near the hut and knocked. Tock, tock, tock. Sounded the same like how she walked. And somebody opened. What's that? Now this boy looked at her. Oh, seems very interesting. I must find out. And then he walked behind. He hid himself near the window. As the old lady went in, the door closed. And now the boy's habit. Listen, listen carefully. And he heard, "Oh, I'm feeling very tired for last 2-3 days. I need tea. Can you make a good ginger tea for me?" "Yes, mother." The second voice was brewing some tea on a pot. Hot water put on a kettle. He could hear the sound of water boiling. And there he also heard the sound of tea leaves getting poured. And then it got started to blow. And then he heard talking again. "Oh, mother, you have been telling me about that pretty treasure. Where is that treasure?" "Oh, I'll tell you later. Give me tea." And as he heard both of them drinking and sipping that hot tea, suddenly the old lady took a notice onto the window. As the window panes were shaking because his boy's head was hitting. He was trying to peep and down, peep and down. The old lady got suspicious. She immediately stood and she walked, tock, 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 and opened the window. And down she saw, "How dare you come here?" The lady also knew this boy. That's it. He was caught red-handed. He was pulled inside the home and onto the collar that the old lady held him and said, "You have tried to listen to what I speak? Very bad manners. I will teach you a lesson." Yes, and the old lady seemed not so kind. She really, really wanted to punish and not just scold, but to really give him something very, very, very severe. She immediately took some grain from her bag and she poured on his head. And as the grains fell on his head, suddenly, his 2 ears grew up like a donkey's. It was so big. And when the boy realized, and he started to cry, "No, no, no." He realized the old lady has put a magic on him. Now the boy was crying, "Mama," and he ran back to his house, into the shelter of his mother. Mother looked at his ears and she was shocked and said, "What happened?" And when he told all the story, he told the truth. finally to his mother. Mother felt very pity, but also quite angry. He said, "What did I not tell you not to hear others? Come." And then she took him back to the old lady, seeking sorry. But the lady was not ready. She said, "This boy needs to be taught a lesson. I'm not going to take away the ears. He deserves long ears." But the mother pleaded. Nothing happened. Back on. Now, with the ears, how can he go to the school? He had maths exam the very next day. And if he doesn't go, he would not pass his grade. What to do? Okay, the next day, mother put him a hat. But the ears were not getting hidden. She covered it with a scarf. Seemed better. But over that, he wore a hat. And then he went to the school. Went on to the school, everybody looking at him. This guy looks so strange. What is that you're covering with a scarf? Immediately the attention all went on to this boy. And the boy looking around, nothing, I'm just not well. But in your classrooms, you will find some notorious boys who are waiting to pull your leg, right? And the very class, he also had classmates like that. And as he was writing the exams, he was just, kind of putting on his half-hearted effort in doing the sums. Suddenly, a stout boy behind was waiting to see what was inside this hat and the scarf. Immediately, from his pencil, knocked off the hat, and tuck, the hat fell, and the scarf, bulgy scarf, came up. All the boys and the girls looking at this boy. "Oh, looking so strange, what is that on your two sides?" Immediately, another boy who was thin, he came and with his own hands unlocked the scarf. And then as the scarf fell down, two ears just popped out. And everybody in the class started to laugh. The boy felt so very ashamed. Oh, he started to cry. He somehow completed his exam. He gave the papers to his teacher and ran straight back to his house and never to show his face ever again to anybody. He went and he hid himself under the pillow, crying the whole day. The mother felt very pity for him. Again she took him back to the lady. She pleaded, "Oh, please forgive him. He is feeling it very bad going to school." Now this time the lady looked at the boy. He seemed really feeling bad for it. And she said, "Okay, I would take away these ears with a condition." "What is that?" Mother asked. "Just that he has to stay with me for, say, 4 days." Not a big deal, right? So thought the mother. The boy agreed to stay with the lady, thinking that he has to help her in all the household chores because it's a punishment. And yes, the first day, the cock croaked. "Cock, cock, cock, cock." The lady woke up this boy. He opened his eyes and he saw no sun. "Oh, is it morning?" asked the boy. "Yes, of course. It is early morning, just before the sunrise. Come on, get up," said the old lady's son. He got up. Now the old lady said, "Oh, take this bucket. Go fill water from the nearby stream and bring me water." What a big deal. The boy said, "Okay." And then he started to leave. Then the old lady stopped. Wait. Not just the water, yeah? I want you to listen to what the water is telling. Yes, I want you to listen to what the water is telling, yeah? Immediately, the boy said, listen to the water. Water? Can the water speak? I
don't know. I want you to go and listen to what the water is saying and come back and tell me what you heard.
The boy didn't understand anything. He took the bucket of water. He took the bucket, got to the stream. He filled the bucket. But the second condition, ears. For the sake of it, at least, he sat down. He started listening to what the water is saying. And the whole silence around the garden, the birds chirping, and the leaves falling. He could actually listen something. He could actually listen to the flowing water. Something strange that he hasn't tried to listen till date. He listened. Oh, the stream of water was singing. It was singing merrily. Wow. The boy got full of joy. He took the bucket of water, ran back to the old lady, and he told,
The water is singing.
The old lady looked at him. Good. And the whole day he had work to do and he became so tired, slept by, say, around 8 p.m. Again the next day, woke up. Got up. Is it morning? No, it's just before the sunrise. Get up, said the son of that old lady. He got up. And the old lady said,
Okay, today I want you to pick up all the delicious fruits that are there in the garden, okay? Go.
And then he took the basket. And as he was about to leave, the old lady said,
Wait. Also listen to what the trees are telling you.
What? The trees? We know the trees and trees are living beings, but do they really speak? Can the boy really listen to the trees? The boy looked confused. He took the basket. He climbed the trees. He plucked fruits after fruits because the whole garden was filled with tall, beautiful trees with a lot of delicious fruits. So he picked all the fruits. And then he remembered, condition to ear for the sake, listen to the trees. And then he listened. Listened carefully. As he listened, he could listen to the rustle of the leaves, to the shake of the tiny branches, and the speech of the two trees to each other. Oh, the boy said, yes, the trees are speaking indeed. They are talking to each other, and they are talking to me. The leaves are rustling, seems to say, good day. And the boy became so full of joy. He came down, he ran back to the lady, and he told what he listened from the trees. The old lady said, good. Again, the whole day, a lot of work. And the next day again, he woke up, and this day he was all ready. He said, yeah, she's going to give some work, and I have to do it, and I have to listen to something. Today, she gave no work. In fact, she said, go to the top of the hill.
Yeah? Go and sit there.
Sit and do what?
Go and sit, do nothing. What?
Do nothing?
Yes, do nothing. Just sit silently.
What a job. It is such a simple job. Thinking, the boy went up the hill. And as he sat on the top of the hill, condition not to do anything. Good. He just kept sitting. And after some time, started getting bored. Wanted to do something. So he looked around, there was no one. So he took on to his regular habit. Try to listen. And as he actually tried to listen to the silence around, he heard his heart. He heard the heartbeat inside him. He heard the breathing of himself, and he heard the winds flowing softly around him, touching his cheeks, kissing him, and floating as if be good. His heart was again filled with joy. He came back running, informing what he heard. And the old lady was like,
Okay, tomorrow the final day.
next day. Now, this fourth day, the boy was so happy, so excited, so looking forward to the day ahead. Finally, the old lady said,
Okay, today I want you to go to the village and listen to anything you want to listen and come back.
now the boy went into the village. He looked at the neighbors, he looked at the opposite people, he looked at the teachers, he looked at the vendors. But he was not listening to what they were saying. He was listening to the nature. He was listening to the birds. He was listening to the winds. He was listening to the flowing water. And when he was doing all that, went around, the people saw him. They saw a spark in his face. They saw a smile in his face. They saw a brightness in his eyes. They also smiled back at him. He looked everyone, he also smiled back. And he came back to the old lady.
So, what did you listen?
Oh, I totally forgot to listen to what others are saying. But I could listen to the air, I could listen to the wind, I could listen to the waters, I could listen to the birds, I could listen to the wind. It is so beautiful, but I forgot to listen to what others are saying. Now the old lady smiled.
Good. So, you have learned to listen to what you're supposed to listen. Go back, child. Your punishment is over. Go back and remember, when it is not none of your business, do not give an ear to others' business. But when somebody is speaking to you, listen. Listen from your heart. Listen from your eyes. Listen from the entire body. And listen to the nature as they will teach you many things for your life. Never will you get scolding. Never will you get into any other punishment. Go back, child.
She sent the boy home. And when the boy came back, by the time when he started from the lady's house, it was like big years. But by the time he came back home, the ears started to shrink, shrink, shrink. And then by the time he reached back home, he was having his original ears back. But back home, he was no more the earlier boy. Now he was a changed boy. There was a new beginning in his life. He learned the secret of listening. He learned what to listen, what not to listen. And he led a very, very happy and a peaceful life. Thank you for watching me. I am Srividya Veeraraghavan from Storytrain, and you just listened to an inspired story from Enid Blyton, the boy who could hear everything. Thank you for joining in.